Hello, and welcome to our build guide on the 1-bar Oakensorc. Today we will be discussing the changes and how it affects the build. And I would like to start out by saying I really like what they have done with this build, and where it is, putting it in a great spot for single target, for beginner players, and giving it the options and feel for learning some of the finer points of the Elder Scrolls, instead of a just one button and two skills to do all. Towards the end we will discuss and show some testing on different setups and solo content options, as well as testing of the changes that have occurred. We will start with the first parse. Here we use the thief mundus, tomato garlic chutney green max mag food, and just basic tripods, essence of health. For content, this will work, or you could go with buy stat clockwork citrus filet. In this parse we used storm masters and sergeants with one-piece slime craw. If you're new to the heavy attack oakensorc, rings are 1 oakensoul, 1 sergeants with a sergeant's neck, bloodthirsty with spell power glyphs. The chest is sergeants, head slime craw, and rest storm masters from Tempest Island. All divines with max mag enchants. The weapon is sergeant's lightening staff with precise and a fire damage enchant. For the blue champion point tree, it's wrathful strikes, master at arms, weapons expert, and exploiter to parse. In content I would run back stabber or fighting finesse over exploiter, which ties into the glyphs. Flame glyph is consistently more damage than the shock glyph, and the critical will give good returns, unless someone is providing a consistent source of off-balance. Otherwise you're relying on a proc and going with an area of effect setup. With the changes to cleave, we show some testing at the end of this video that it's dramatically reduced, and another set that will provide even more area of effect damage in situations than was previously achieved. In the red tree we run rejuvenation, fortified, and celerity. Fortified or spirit mastery should be the last champion point. Champion points were the same in all testing. I don't think I prefer this setup, but on the trial dummy it outparsed the second setup around 500, and in group testing where I set up 6 target dummies to mimic the typical dungeon pull it out, parsed deadly strikes by about 2.5. On the rotation it is barb trap for the damage and hemorrhaging effect, Daedric prey, hurricane volatile familiar, twilight tormentor. For Daedric prey, it is important to understand the skill. It increases pet damage by 45%, and at the end does a burst and area of effect damage to all other nearby enemies, so it is important to let the skill fully expire. Barb trap takes 2 seconds to arm, so try to recast it at the 3-second mark. The Twilight Tormentor only does extra damage for the first 50%. A lot of people don't recast it, but in the parse I did until 50%, although if I didn't fit it in, I didn't worry about it. In this second parse we are running the same setup, but we replaced Storm Masters with Deadly. This can be farmed or purchased from guild traders. I prefer the Deadly setup due to the ease of acquiring it for the body, and the fact the difference in the parse was negligible. and the additional fact that a set such as azureblight will provide far superior results in vet content than relying on cleave from the lightening staff passives. As you can see in both parses, I pre-buffed Hurricane both pets and led with the Storm Atronach ultimate straight into Dedrick Prey and barbed traps during the heavy attacks. What makes this so formidable is the fact when your heavy attack is firing, you can Kyo next skill and never let off the heavy attack. It is a great build for learning mechanics and paying attention of what is going on around you while still putting out enough damage for any vet content. We have cleared all vet trials in the game with this setup, including the new trial Sanity's Edge. From here I will let you enjoy the rest of this parse and watch how we manage the rotation, recasting skills, before we go into the changes and options for additional area of effect damage and solo content setups. Here you can see we tested the cleave changes to the passives of the lightning staff. We seen somewhere around a 50k loss, which is what was expected, personally. While this is somewhat of an inconvenience, it brings the class in balance and is what I believe will be a great change, bringing in some of the finer points of the game and helping newer players learn the game and endgame by changing sets and learning the finer points of the Elder Scrolls Online. Here we use the Azureblight Reaper set from Lair of Marsalok by swapping it with Deadly or Storm Masters, whichever you choose to go with, and swapping Daedric Prey with Razor Caltrops from the Assault line, and Barbed Trap with Wall of Elements. You can proc the set, and take advantage of the 5th line item, Blight Seed. This set underwent changes on the PTS this time, and seems to be where you can run more than one in a group, and provides some amazing area of effect that makes it even stronger than it was before. Here's the live testing to see for yourself how the changes have affected the Sorc class, and how I personally feel that it will be good for the game and help advance the endgame community by teaching different sets and allowing for the class to be in balance and in a really good spot for vet content. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like and subscribe button and share it with your friends. This will take effect when Update 39 goes live on your server. PC and Mac, August 21st. Console, September 5th. I hope this video helps you to have an advantage and to be better prepared when it goes live. As always, PTS is subject to change, and we will update accordingly should any changes occur.